Okay, yay, you came back. You're back for the next part. All right. So let's continue on with this little brainstorming pre-class or whatever. I have for you a checklist, the ultimate checklist to set up your vault. Now, you may not be doing all this, but some people, like I said before, after doing a brainstorming session, decide that they do want to do it all themselves. And that I'm totally cool with that. This is all brainstorming and helping you to just figure out what hidden gold you have to uh, to put out there to the world. So in my ultimate checklist, the very first thing that I want you to check off is that I want you to promise to yourself. I promise that I won't try to do everything in this checklist because it's not all applicable to me. Okay? It is not. It is my brain dump of a checklist to kind of make sure to go over with somebody just to make sure that they know. Okay? So first of all, whenever you're going to sell anything to the world, you need to know your ideal client or your student, their avatar. Have that in your mindset. Who are you selling to? And that goes everywhere from being very specific to male, female, their age, just who is it? Who is your customer? And really knowing that. And I've had training where you're supposed to get super, super specific. And I've had training where, it's just kind of general, but you at least do know the male or female and the age range, because it makes a difference. You talk to a 20-year-old a whole lot different than you talk to a 60-year-old. That's the truth. So the next thing in your pre-planning, and we talked about it in the other video, is mapping out your funnel, or your value ladder is what it's also called, of your products. And the first time that I did it, I'm a very tactile person, and at first it has to be on paper. And I tore off a piece of wrapping paper. It was Christmas wrapping paper. And I grabbed sticky notes, and I just started going through my files, whether it was something printed that I knew of, that I had of in a notebook, or I was going through my hard drive and clicking and writing down all these different things that I had, whether it was a full PDF or a bunch of worksheets, or it was a recent challenge that I had conducted all on Facebook, and all the content was on Facebook. And hello, I knew better than that. I knew better than to rely on a social media platform to contain all of my stuff. But it was something that I had whipped together real fast, and that was the reason I was looking for a hub. Truthfully, I had all that content, and I knew I wanted to put it someplace. So that's what led me through the finding MemberVault. So however that looks for you for that brainstorming, it may be that you do it on pen and paper. It may be that you make a long list in an Excel spreadsheet. It may be that you just get a notebook paper and you start writing it all out. You may want to do it on a Trello board or some other type of digital way to capture all that. Capture it. Don't just remember everything. And, take some time to kind of go through that, because if you haven't paused and thought about that, then you've probably got some things that you haven't even remembered if you've been gathering and collecting things for years, right? So gather out that all those products, and then brainstorm the price points for your value ladder, for your products. So remembering your ideal client. So part of your avatar, part of your ideal client is understanding their price points and what their income is, because somebody who is on minimum wage, and maybe your book is about how to live off of $1,000 a month, well, that person is not going to be able to afford a coaching package, more than likely, that costs them $7,500. So there's a disconnect there of a book to that type of coaching package. So you need to understand that sequence. And understanding the price points that your ideal client would probably be willing to spend. It's a guessing game sometimes, but sometimes some of it is very reasonable. You can figure it out with some common sense. So consider what type of lead magnets would draw your audience. What is it that they're looking for? What type of help that they're looking for? And so your lead magnets, and you may already have some, that's great. So that's just some of the pre-planning. And I've got more specifics in the checklist. I've got stuff talking about your branding, your colors, your logo, a privacy policy document, whether you link to your other website if you have one, or if you don't and you just want to have that uploaded as a document in your MemberVault that is just always referenced. That's something that you have to do, is have a privacy policy. And you'll need an email system. And so MailerLite and ActiveCampaign are my preferences, especially if you have a lot of different products. There's some other email autoresponder systems out there. I know for a fact that Aweber, even though it's been around for a long time, actually does not integrate easily with MemberVault. And so a lot of people have converted out of Aweber for that reason. So you're just going to have to choose what feels comfortable to you. Also with MailerLite, and I will put a note in here for you, MailerLite, to hook up a MailerLite autoresponder, they want to know what your website is. So it's mybusiness.com. And they want you to have an email address that is hosted by that website, mybusiness.com. So Mary Sue at mybusiness.com. In other words, you can't have just a Gmail account. That is MailerLite's way to really preserve the integrity of their mailing system and not get tagged with a lot of spam, because sometimes some of these fly-by-night businesses only have a Gmail address. And if you only have a Gmail, that's okay. I'm not saying you're a fly-by-night business, but some of those, you've been a part of those multiple spammed type of emails. And anyway, so MailerLite, that is a rule that they put in. So the email system, and then because you're going to be selling, right? You're going to be earning money. You need to have PayPal and or Stripe. Those two payment systems are what MemberVault uses. So you would need to have your PayPal account or your Stripe. And now here's the brainstorming for a lead magnet and what you could offer as a lead magnet. You may already have something. If you don't, that's fine. When we brainstorm, I know sources and ways and places that you can get something that you can brand and call your own. So just look over these ideas. So brainstorm what your possible freebie offer is. And to get started with, if you're just getting started on MemberVault and you're wanting to get things started, just start with one freebie. Just start with one. Don't bombard everybody with 7 free things and only 1 paid thing. You're giving away the farm, okay? Just start with one lead magnet and then the type of products that you're going to sell. And that may be some type of course or a membership group or a call. Maybe it's a coaching call type thing, or templates, or you've got the list here. Go through it and brainstorm your paid offers. And I promise you're going to need more paper than that, but I put you a little scratch sheet right there. But get you a paper and really start thinking about it. And then as you start thinking about these lessons and everything, I've got you some checklists here of creating effective lessons. And, don't just always have text. Try to mix it up with some typed text that they read, and then a video that they may need to watch, or an audio that they need to listen to, a worksheet. not every lesson has to have a quiz. Not every lesson has to have a worksheet, but having that little variety does mix it up a little bit. And there are quiz questions in MemberVault that you can specifically answer, ask somebody a quiz question. And it's very fun to make those questions something that give you a little bit more insight into the user. And you can actually reply back to those questions through MemberVault. MemberVault will open up your email and put in their email address, and you can jot them off a quick email. So think about, how you will make your videos. And there's, lots of different video recordings. I'm not a teacher in videos, but there's lots of different ways and video editing that you may or may not need to do. I tend to not do a lot of video editing anymore. You get what you get. This is me, raw and mistakes and everything. The thing about, with MemberVault, you have to host your video someplace else, right? You have to host it on YouTube or Vimeo Pro, or Loom has ways that you can host, and then link those videos, put the link into MemberVault, and you will need to take care of that. I do not offer uploading your videos to YouTube. I happen to live where I have very archaic video upload speeds with my internet, and I can't tie up my computer. I literally, to upload a 2-minute or 3-minute video, it will, even if I shrink it all down and everything, it will probably take 2 hours to do that. So I have to choose very carefully what videos I do and when I actually upload them to YouTube. So you will need to take care of that on your end, and we will talk about that, what you need to do and how you need to do it and how you can best deliver your learning to your audience. If you have a checklist that you provide, as you can see, for some reason on this one, as I have made this, my footers went away. So I've got to even go and edit this before I upload it into the classroom. But, be sure and have your footers, have your information on your footer. I cannot tell you how many times I open a very cool checklist or something that was provided to me by somebody that I know I either took a class from or I opted into their freebie, and they don't have any contact information on that checklist. So even if I really, really liked the training that I finally, in the checklist, and might want to, buy something from them, I don't have anything. I don't have a logo. I don't have a nothing. And I know that I wasn't the one that created the checklist. So it's like, where did I get it from? So you don't want to do that. You don't want to leave your students and audience guessing later when they are wanting to check into you again later. I do suggest for you that when it comes time, if you're doing this yourself, that you get yourself organized and say, okay, I'm going to build this product and I'm going to put all of this information in this place, so that when it comes time to start copying and uploading, if you're doing it yourself, so that it's all in this one place instead of hunting and pecking and searching all over your computer. So someplace that things are stored. You will have graphics, and these are the graphic specifics that you need for MemberVault, and MemberVault has that in every place where graphics are uploaded. They tell you what the sizes are. Your payment processor that you choose, there is some integration that would happen if you are using MemberVault to process the payments, okay? If you are using the buy now function with MemberVault and you want people to pay through PayPal and pay through Stripe for everything, then there are some things called API codes that you have to have. So just be prepared for that. However, if you are just doing services to where you are just doing only coaching, or you just want to sell and have Acuity or Calendly do your processing, then that's fine. You can use links and do that. There's some other integrations that have to happen, but it can happen. Personally, it's easier to just let them do the payment processing and then direct people to your Calendly or your Acuity and have them schedule. That's the way I have it set up. And I just found it a lot easier. Then there's some email integration that happens, because what happens with MemberVault is you click that you buy something and then you get little emails. And you may get only one email or 2 emails, or if you're doing a series of classes that opens up over the course of 7 or 10 days, maybe it's a challenge, then people can get an email every single day. And so that integration needs to happen with your email provider, with your list. And the cool thing is, if you are doing MemberVault and you're going to do it yourself, they have very detailed step-by-step instructions of how to do it. And really, I was with MemberVault at the beginning as they were building a more robust help system. So questions that kept getting repeatedly asked, then they started writing help text for their help desk and links to show you, and videos. It was so energizing to watch them listen to their customers and build this intensive help section to help step somebody through setting up their own MemberVault. So anyway, some of this is more intensive, some of it's not. You can read through. MemberVault does give you kind of what's called gamification, where people can earn points. It's called Earn Points, EP. And that's, you can use that to encourage people to get into your vault and to do the lessons and to do the classes. When we do a walkthrough, if you do a brainstorming session with me, I'll show you behind the scenes, and I'll show you what it looks like from under the hood, is what I call it, because it doesn't look anything like this. This is pretty. On the under the hood, it's kind of boring looking, but but all the magic happens there. All right, all the magic happens under the hood. So just kind of run through this. Think about the quiz questions. There are quiz questions that you can have for each lesson, and this just kind of gives you some ideas and some things to think about, some things to use in your planning session. So hopefully I've given you enough to think about, and I will see you at our brainstorming session. All right, have a great day. Bye.